There you go. That's my take. I love it. Round tripping the TradFi to DeFi to DeFi to TradFi chain. And I mean, hey, the Commodore 64, I mean, that was a killer machine for its time, and look what happened. It went the way of the dinosaurs. So ultimately, the first player does not always mean the best player. That's for sure. And Alex, I think, tell me if I'm hand-drugged. I think I see the Mavericks account's hand up. So pass it over to Alex. Curious to get your take on this.
You do. Yeah, I think what's going to be interesting is when we start seeing stable coins with more use cases. Because right now we've got basically, the massive superpowers in the stablecoin world, which is, USDT and USDC. And you got, maybe Mika might affect them in some capacity.
Did it.
Other regulations might affect them in some
Expecting
capacity.
you to say
But
82.
what I'm really curious about is when you start getting RWAs that get mixed with collateral-backed algorithmic stablecoins. If you look at the DAI lending rates, they're actually really low relative to other lending rates of collateral-backed loans.
If PCLA does not go up, we got big problems, everybody.
On Aave, for example, and then go get, borrow USDT.
Maybe they needed the money.
Giving yourself a loan by extracting.
That's true.
A synthetic.
Like to give that a
home equity line, in a way, like line of credit. And so if
a little bit,
I think we're going to come upon an era once you tokenize enough RWAs and someone creates an RWA-backed DAI. And I kind of refuse to call it Maker by its new name because I still can't remember what it is. It's like kind of how Twitter is still Twitter. But you're going to have this era of, imagine you buy into all these RWAs and you go get egregiously low rates relative to, let's call it, like fiat-backed stablecoins. And I think that will start to get really interesting in terms of compounding yields on chain. And then how do you even control that algo-stabilized collateral-backed stablecoin that's backed by RWAs?
That's a great take. The cat's out of the bag at that point, and I think
no Bitcoin without
Sky, but that's totally
Robinhood,
fine.
cat's out of the bag.
I still call it Twitter. My uncle called Czech Republic, Czechoslovakia the other day,
kill us.
So I think maybe sometimes terms just get fixed. I kind of had to stop for a second. They stopped doing that. That's no longer a thing. He's like, oh yeah, you know what I meant. So I think
my wife's from Siberia. I still call her Soviet.
Well, there you go. See what?
Are you okay?
To be fair, depending on your political leaning and definitions.
Oh no, my cat's dying, dude, for real.
Siberia is kind of its own thing. Basically, a place where it's down to -80 degrees.
I'm sorry, Harley.
So, awesome stuff, man. But I see your hand up as well, my friend. Curious as to what you think about these algo stable, wild things that are making their way to Bank of America and beyond.
Just the standard reminder, you know what I'm going to say, right? From the beginning, the reason for crypto to exist is because the dollar is not stable. That was the Satoshi point. Right at the beginning, we keep printing money, there's nothing to back it, eventually it'll crash, that's why you need crypto. And, this marketing, coup of attaching the word stable to something that is dollar denominated.
Oh my god, dude.
It's just deadly.
So, Vinay, what would you use as a base denomination then in that case?
So in a pre-AI world, the answer is that's a really hard question. In a post-AI world, handling a basket of a couple of 100,000 things and calling that your stable yardstick of value is absolutely doable.
This better go up. There's no fucking reason that stock can't go up and make our money off of it. Why isn't it moving?
Index, calculate stable price from there.
Because it hasn't put everything on the screen for us for Infinity yet. Infinity doesn't completely exist yet.
Economy is completely doable. I don't know whether it will be this year
or
5 years from now, but a stable yardstick of value is one of the most important things that will come out of artificial intelligence.
So, Vinay, I find that pretty interesting, because you mentioned energy as part of your basket of indices there, and commodities and other sorts of stocks. I think there's a social capital overhead if you look at things like productive assets and businesses. I'd be interested to hear your take
on
using purely energy or electricity as a means
because those guys sell it off
currency or as a basis of value.
So sell mine before it's too late, because I got 48 cents out of it.
But he's actually built the first Dyson sphere, and that's why he's asking.
Motherfucker.
Nice.
Yeah, they just did something
about what a Dyson sphere is. Take a look.
But yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts there, because that's relevant to what we're building.
Yeah, I mean, so energy as a proxy for things I have an energy policy background. So if we think of like aluminium, something like 80% of the price of a kilogram of aluminium is the energy that went into separating out the aluminium from the rest of the stuff it's mixed with, right? The oxides. Food,
did I make money or not?
NPK fertilizer.
They try to pretend like you didn't make the money you're supposed to make and shit sometimes.
Goes via ammonia, goes via natural gas, so it's probably a derivative of the energy
I kept
prices,
one share.
I'll
buy one back too.
For an enormous amount of the stuff that we use,
maybe I need to do that
if
now.
you track down the energy, you'll get a pretty reasonable proxy for the value of the object. The place where it begins to get a little fuzzy is when you start talking about asset classes like real estate. You want to pay your rent to buy real estate, but the energy price in your jurisdiction bounces up and down.
I need to fix my cat.
It's like, does my rent vary in summer and winter?
I don't have a way.
Tried
many different things.
I think that energy is not
I put iodine on it last time.
But the complexity of doing an energy-only index is probably 10% of the complexity of doing an everything index. And by the time you got that done, I wonder whether you'd wind up with a bunch of anomalies about availability, summer to winter, and summer stuff like that.
Interesting. Yeah, the way we've structured it is by creating a crypto-native asset that utilizes proof of work as the oracle. Mm-hmm. In particular, we utilize GPU efficiency out of the equation, so we sort of normalize with GPU efficiency, and then we use the global average, probably the bottom quartility of where
taking my profits
are. Yep. And kind of what inspired us in that way is many people consider Bitcoin as
when you do the same
but
thing.
Bitcoin does not make use of its hash rate.
And it
so
won't
if you were
let you.
Proportionally to hash rate, you could actually oracleize that concept of
It'll
energy
secure your money a little bit, but don't go putting a whole bunch into each one.
And as a unit of account, and the system sort of leaning on what you've mentioned in terms of how physical goods and productive means of society are all centered around energy and factor into our daily lives there. We've explored this with Stephen Wolfram sort of at depth. He's one of our advisors. So maybe we could find some more time for us to go more at length on that.
Yeah, I have an energy background.
And if you do, you better sell off your fucking profits quickly. Like, you'll wake up and you've got a negative balance. $2
20 years ago, I was kind of in the room with a lot of world-class energy people, and
PCLA, obviously, if you get up to $6-7, sell it. Don't wake up with the fucking dollars. I don't know why it's doing
Germans
that.
going for a very complex renewable grid, and the Germans are deindustrializing and they can't keep the lights on. I kind of feel like we're heading into a solar nuclear future rather than a solar wind future. And energy's on my mind. Good to talk.
Yeah, amazing. I agree. We're out of
These
Texas.
guys want more money, and I just gave too much.
And we definitely see nuclear being part of that. I think there's a lot of efficiency to be made in nuclear. If you look at sort of all of the techniques that they're working on in the sphere of nuclear, I think it has a bright future. And definitely on the proof of work side here, we want everything to be electrified.
This is how you get microshares Bitcoin on this side.
That's how we create.
And you just can't control it as easily.
I'll make a note to follow up more, and thanks to the Wolf team for giving us
in the same way.
Absolutely love this. This is what these spaces are for.
When you buy
this is just an absolute phenomenal, I think, capstone. I know we have to end it at time just because we have something following up after this. But absolute amazing conversation. Again, if you can hear my voice, give everyone on this stage a follow. You've been so generous with their time, their expertise. And where else are you going to find this level of high quality conversation, this caliber of dialogue, other than Wolf Web3? So definitely give them a follow as well. I've been your host, Ray Buckton. I'm the head of research at RWA.world. We keep it simple. You can find us at RWA.world. We do a newsletter every Friday under 1,000 words. It's your finger on the pulse for all the amazing things happening in the tokenized asset landscape. So super stoked to be a part of it. And also want to give a shout out to Maverick Network for sponsoring today's space. They're building that decentralized infrastructure, tokenizing real estate, Bitcoin mining, making it more accessible, liquid, efficient, fractional ownership of high value properties, global liquidity, seamless transactions with no middlemen, all the stuff. And blockchain is reshaping how we invest in these physical assets. And with Maverick, you're not just holding those tokens, again, you're holding that real value. And they currently have a really significant TGE coming up for their ecosystem. So jump in their Telegram. We're going to have that pinned to the Jumbotron for you exclusively. For those listening,